Hello and welcome. As you can tell by the title, I am the obsessed movie man. O.M.M. Let's talk about The Wizard of Oz. In 1900, L. Frank Baum published his book, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. It has been usually considered a children's book, but many people seem to overlook some of the more violent actions that occurred in the story. I mean, when the Tin Man says he doesn't have a heart, you'll learn that to be figuratively and literally true. The story is better known through the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz, which starred Judy Garland, which had amazing sets and effects for its time, using Technicolor, which was relatively not used as much to my understanding. Aside from this, there is nothing else really for me to say about this film that has never been said. It is, in fact, my favorite film of all time, and mere words from me cannot stress how much it has left an impact on my life. But I'm not here to talk about this classic Hollywood film. No. I'm here to talk about what poor, unimaginative Hollywood is doing now. Currently, there are 2 Wizard of Oz related films coming out this year. 2! Kind of like in 2005 when we had 3 War of the Worlds films come out. The first one is titled Oz, the Great and Powerful. Yeah, I guess Oz wasn't a good enough title. And this film is going to be a prequel, apparently. I mean, think about this. The title is titled Oz, the Great and Powerful. You're taking a quote from the movie and you're making that the subtitle of the movie. Isn't that sort of like if you make a prequel to A Few Good Men and call it You Can't Handle the Truth? I don't know. Anyway, it will be directed by Sam Raimi and starring James Franco. The two haven't worked together since Spider-Man 3, so I believe they'll be working fine together. Now, this is what annoys me, though. It has been stated that this film is to be a prequel, but for a while it wasn't sure if it was a prequel to the book or anything else. But it was said now that this, in fact, is a prequel to the 1939 classic film. Kind of weird considering that this is going to be a Disney film and that this one was from MGM. But I digress. But let's think carefully a moment. Do we really need a prequel to The Wizard of Oz? Is Hollywood so desperate that they have to make a prequel to a film that came out almost 8 decades ago? Further proof of Hollywood's decline in originality, folks. Another thing that just annoys me is just that it's going to be a prequel. That is what annoys me, just the fact that it's going to be a prequel. I mean, a prequel to... Let me explain. At the end of the original film, it's left up to the audience to decide if Dorothy really did travel to the land of Oz or if it was a dream. And which had friends and enemies she knew in real life personified into creatures, objects, and other beings. Sort of like at the end of Inception, it's left up to the audience to decide whether or not Leonardo DiCaprio's character was really in a dream or in real life. In The Wizard of Oz, it was left up for the audience to decide if it really happened or not. Now, that magic and wonder is gone. We know it really happened because there isn't a prequel. God! Granted, it worked with Wicked, both the musical and the book by Gregory Maguire. But that was probably a once-in-a-lifetime chance where the prequel could actually be done well. Personally, I preferred the musical over the book. But Speaking of which, not to be confused with witch. That was a really lame joke. Black Swan actress Mila Kunis, I can never pronounce anyone's name right, so I apologize. Mila Kunis is to play a character called Theodora in Oz the Great and Powerful. Theodora is the younger sister of Evanora. Theodora, Evanora, Manora, who eventually becomes the Wicked Witch of the West. So now we are ignoring Wicked? Or are we... Forget it. Alright, this in turn transitions to another film titled The Witches of Oz. And from my understanding, this film will not even be about the Witches of Oz. False advertisement, folks. But this is going to be about an adult Dorothy Gale, who has forgotten her adventures in Oz due to suppressed, I apologize for my stuttering, due to suppressed childhood memories. This reminds me of a film that just came out recently. I can't remember. Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland? And it sort of seems a bit familiar of an adult Dorothy Gale returning to Oz. There was like some kind of a science fictional channel that had something to do with it. Tin Man! However, I do want to see this. Why? Because, goddammit, it has Christopher Lloyd as the wizard. And that alone makes it worthwhile. No disrespect to James Franco, but I believe that Doc Brown will make a better wizard than Harry Osborn. Until then, this is O.M.M. signing out.